Hey gang, hey gang, how you doing there? This is Classic 718. Listen, this is a 1955 Pontiac Firebird that you saw in the movie with Burt Reynolds and Henry Lancaster. Not, not, not. That's what Classic 718 would say, and he's always wrong. This is a 1968 Pontiac LeMans GTO convertible. Very peculiar. This banana paint job. This car's definitely been repainted, maybe. Just walk right in the shot. That's great.
1968.
Fiberglass nose. It's got some serious wear on it. It was repainted at some point. I mean, I don't even think it came in this color yellow right here. Maybe this color yellow right here, but I don't know if you can tell. Those are two different tones. I mean, this is that My Cousin Vinny color yellow. This is, I just picked this out of a catalog and I thought it was almost, I mean, yeah, look. I probably assume this front end didn't come on this car originally. I figured the car was probably wrecked and you pulled the front end for something else. That's a very nice gear selector. You know, it's a OEM AM radio. It's got the original steering wheel in it. The front seats look like they've been restitched. The rear seats don't, though. You know, it's awesome. Right. Hmm?
So you're waiting on a cold Heineken?
Oh, that's creative, man. That's a creative
Yeah, they
gift.
only had that little black knob.
Yeah, well,
That was a big thing. Big one, and I cut it years ago. That's the only thing I kept from a previous GTO that I had.
All right. Same year, 68?
Yeah, totaled it out.
All right.
Dime a dozen. You had to pay the junkyard to take the car back then.
Back then, right.
Yeah. We only knew.
Yeah.
Get it.
Yeah. If you knew, put all your pension into a warehouse.
Yeah,
You lock the whole warehouse.
Exactly.
Yeah, you lock them all up, So when did you get it repainted? This front here.
This is the way I bought it.
Yeah.
25 years. The nose is off. You can
Right,
see it.
right, I can see it.
And they had it in Florida, he said, and whatever he did, he did. Recently, I had a, what do you call it here?
Okay, got a rash right there. I
I
see it,
in
yes.
Home Depot.
Yeah, I see it, right.
They called it acorn yellow. This is Mayfair Maize. It's
All right. There's a company in Brooklyn. They moved. It's over in Classen Avenue in Pacific,
yeah.
where they can give you the OEM paint codes. It's not Sam Ash, but that's what they specialize in. They specialize in paint. They'll mix the paint for you and all of that. I can't tell you how much it costs, but I do know that's their specialty, finding paint codes for old cars.
Pacific and where?
Classen Avenue.
Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's close. My
Yeah.
mother's over there by Court Street.
Right.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, it's right there in the corner. So even though I can't remember the name, Pacific and Classen. Yeah.
This was my first car. 68 Firebird. See all the
Okay.
garbage and the sidewalk. I used to get yelled at. My mother, what are you doing? We're always under the car. $800.
There you go.
Parked in the street, dime a dozen. You go to junkyard, you get
Yeah,
a fender, you
right.
smash it, you fix it.
Right, right,
Like I said, if you only knew.
right.
That had a 350 in it. That's Firebird, 68. Now forget it. You can't even touch it. Then I found this for $1,200. This was the GTO, the hard top.
Right.
Smashed it up. Sold it for $700.
It's a fury behind it. I like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you gone to the
Parked in the street.
Have you gone to the GM Nationals? You didn't bring it to any shows? The GM Nationals, well, it's past now. It was back in the beginning of June.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's out in Carlisle, Pennsylvania.
Oh.
It's only 190 miles from here, so.
Well, no, I've been going upstate. The kids moved, so every weekend is some other
Then
shit.
they have upstate. They're having the Adirondack Nationals, I believe. That's Labor Day weekend
Oh
or
yeah.
September 11th weekend. It's one of those.
I'll
But you
look
really
into
got to
that.
go. I think you should look into the GM Nationals though, because I just came back from this weekend. I went because this weekend was a Truck National show. But if you go to GM Nationals, it's only, like I said, it's only 190 miles straight out from Newark Airport, where 78 begins, all the way straight out. You know, and then it's a good show. You go there, it's just like usually like a 3-day show. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, and half of Sunday. But you know, people, yeah, I mean,
They had the Pontiac.
well, what they'll do is they'll
Something
sign
else
you.
was devoted to Pontiac.
Yeah, they'll sign you based on the age of the car. So this would be like, you know, late 60s A body, something like that. You know, so they, you know, you'll be up there with Chevelles and 442s and stuff. And then there's another one out in Carlisle. It's an auction and a car show. It's the Fall Classic. That's at the end of September. That's 5 days because it also, like I said, it also has an auction.
Yeah.
So Wednesday and Thursday is I believe is the auction, and then the weekend still is the show. So I mean, it's very entertaining, man. You know, if you got grandkids, bring them out there because they probably like that too.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty swell.
Yeah,
You know.
they like it.
Yeah.
This I picked up going about 60 on the highway.
Oh,
Somebody
geez.
lifted a leaf spring.
Leaf spring, right?
It launched off the hood. It went right through the window. I'm watching it rattle. I'm gonna have glass in my face. It stopped right on the steering wheel. I took the pictures. I figured the city would give me $300. They laughed at me. I have the Lincoln
All right. Oh, that's what you brought last time.
Mark III.
The Mark III, yes. That's I told you that's the one that said the Cannon from from Cannon, right?
Yep. Yeah. I didn't want to get that wet. If it's gonna rain, I'll take this.
But even for that, the General Motors National was at the beginning of June. The Ford National was at the end of June.
Oh, I see.
So that might be something too. You know, to bring that to the Ford Nationals.
Sure.
You know.
We put the kids in the car for their graduation during COVID.
Right.
And drove
For
around the
parade.
neighborhood beeping the horn and all of that stuff.
That's good.
Then my wife took that picture and threw it in a card.
There you go.
Cut it out and gave it to me for Father's Day.
Yeah, you can save that graphic and put it on a birthday cake.
Yeah.
You know? That's some good stuff.
Took the car upstate to do something, and I didn't realize there was snow on the ground because I don't take the car out in snow or cold. And it was just an inch or two.
That's it's a hot wash right there. You wash that off with hot water, and then there's a soap that they sell at Walmart.
The salt, you mean, to neutralize it?
Yeah, to get it all off because you got to get off because the cold water, you get the hot water, got to get it all off in the nooks and crannies because then it'll get under the paint or if it'll find some place.
Yes.
You know, so there's a mix that they sell at Walmart. It's called Spray 9. You get a little tub of that, little bottle. You know, put that in a 5-gallon bucket. You know, and get one of those brushes. You know, the wheel brushes that they sell at the car wash. And just get up in there. You know.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. It'll get right up in there. You know. When I had my Lincoln, I was on the thruway. I got hit with one rock pellet on the roof of the car. Landed like right up here. Started the rust right away. I don't know what kind of salt that was.
Wow.
It was powerful. You know. And this was in the wintertime. By the time the summer came, I had a hole in the roof.
Yeah, this is Vinny Pistori in the pouring rain doing a Kodak commercial with the Lincoln. And it was pouring rain. I got that thing home and I had to blow out all the moldings because they accumulate water.
Yeah.
But they paid me. Whatever.
That's a good prop for you. That's good.
Yeah, and they don't have a clue about this weather. It started raining a little when Kent was coming.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay, car hasn't been wet. Time to wipe it down, whatever. And now the sun is actually hot. Huh.
So you haven't done the roof?
Oh yeah.
The roof is original, or you had it been done?
They redid it.
Okay, yeah, all right.
2 years old.
All right.
So the arm was rubbing it. They wanted to use it in the movie, and I looked, and it was tearing I said, no, you can't use it. But they did it. They did a pretty good job. They said they found some rust down in here.
Yeah.
And they lowered the mounting point. This you find on a lot of cars these times because they filled in that seam.
Right.
This is odd. Probably a screw that over tightened.
Right. Because the seam runs this way.
Yeah.
They normally fill it in with lead, right? So
These are
the
from the
front,
69.
yeah,
But you open the back of this, it's very easy. You take out some screws, you open it, and it's all ready to go.
right,
It's set up for it.
right.
I said, well, why the hell not? So I put them in.
Good, good, good.
You only got a seatbelt. You know, you don't have nothing coming over your shoulder.
Well, you know,
Not that I'm going 100 miles an hour.
right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Sometimes.
But still got your seatbelts for the kids in the back. That's good.
Yeah, yeah.
You got your aftermarket radio, so you can, you know, just.
Yeah, I left the original in.
Yeah, for clean. It looks clean, right? It looks clean. So you just hide the little one, you know, the aftermarket underneath. So you get your error tunes.
Yeah.
That's a good way to do
It
it.
came with air conditioning, but I don't have it hooked up. I never did. I cut these open. They were all closed. They're always closed.
Right.
Unless it's a ram out. But I took the wheel and I sliced them. So it still looks original. Made a little something, and I
There you
changed
go.
the air
Yeah,
cleaner
yeah. So
so
get
the
cold air.
can
You get
in
cold
there.
air, right? You made a homemade cold air intake.
Yeah, this was the air conditioning setup.
Yeah.
I have the original stuff, but friggin' elves, they just won't handle it.
Well,
I leave it there in the garage, and I come out, and I'm like, shit, they still didn't do it.
you can find the
It's a
hoses.
big job.
You let me know because I went to the Chevrolet dealer and told me everything.
Hoses?
Yeah. 'Cause I put the, cause this has a Frigidaire compressor in it.
Yeah, the long one.
Right, the long one. So I put the same thing in mine, but there's a hose that goes from here to the condenser that I can't get.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was at the Chevrolet dealer. They said they discontinued it. Yeah.
Because I have the condenser in here.
Yeah.
This is it right here. I busted the tip off it. We did something or other.
Mm-hmm.
But the condenser I did change. I was ready to go. We just went to service it and it wouldn't hold shit. I believe the evaporator's no good. So it needs to be, even the Lincoln, it needs to be updated. I loaded it with Freon R12
Well, on
and
those.
I got it cool and now it's empty again.
Yeah, yeah. See, that's the thing. No, the problem is I'll tell you what it is. On the Lincoln, at least, you didn't replace the seals.
No, I didn't.
See, that's what I'm saying. When you open it up, you're gonna have black seals on it. That's rubber. You gotta replace every seal. You need to go get nitro vinyl, which is green, or you need to get the neoprene, which is blue.
Mm-hmm.
Or there's even seals that are another form of neoprene, where
I
purple.
want to stay with R12.
Oh, you want to stay with R12?
I have a lot of those.
Okay, well you got.
I ran into.
All right, but then that's cool. Then all you got to do is just.
I don't want to convert.
Then if you're going to stay with R12, then you have to put new seals on it.
Yeah.
And also, being that you got the system open, you got to get a new fixed orifice tube, which is only like $4. Go on eBay because Ford uses the same thing from almost all of them. And when you take off, right?
Yeah, it's right in line.
It's right in line.
It had a sight gauge on it,
Right.
the old one. I did replace it. It's an expansion valve, that is. Expansion valve sits right in here. And it has a little sight glass on it. And that gets cold. The bottom line gets cold, but the top line goes into that, and that
Right.
comes around.
You took it out already.
I changed it, but
Right,
I
'cause
believe it has moisture. I might have to change the dryer.
I don't know, man, because the O-rings only supposed to last for 10 years.
Oh.
But if you want to stick with R12,
Yeah.
then you can use the black O-ring still because they're made for that molecule.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
normally when I converted to 134, it worked, and then when I was down in Florida, because I had a Colony Park station wagon, so I did it at the job, got home, next day it was all gone. Once you replace those O-rings, I was able to hold the system. But you want to stay with R12. If you did you sure it's an expansion valve? Because when I did mine on those full size Fords, it was a fixed orifice tube. But the sight glass is part of that's part. If you had the manual, it will tell you that's how Ford wanted you to measure if it was full.
Yeah.
When you hook it up.
Yeah, I used to look at it. It used to be clear.
Yeah, no
bubbles.
When you hook it up, when you hook up the charging station, you're supposed to count the cycles of the compressor.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know, and I got the book at home.
Because it takes 2.5 pounds, and I have no way of weighing this shit. And you don't want to overservice it.
But the Ford manual I had says you're supposed to, at the time, you were supposed to count how the cycling time that the compressor was on to determine what your load was.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So if the thing was on for 30 seconds.
No, the thing stays on forever.
No, I mean because it stays on for 30, then it goes off. Because you're charging it. When you're charging it, when it stays on forever, it's already charged. But when you're servicing it, when you're servicing the system, that's how they want you to measure. You know, at that time, this is like 1966 to maybe 1978. That's you know. But yeah, you got a Pontiac block, and that's getting parts for that is rare. You know, power brakes. You like that? Power steering. Jeez.
Yeah, this
Who is
came with a
that?
lot of options. It has power windows. It has the four piston calipers up front in '68. In '69, they wised up. They made it a single piston because it's too much maintenance. Even though I replaced them, they're still working fine. This started leaking out of nowhere, the seal, so I
Yeah.
changed that. I still use dot 3 and 4 in there.
It's very hard to get
This,
these in good shape. Every time somebody rebuilds them, I got to go back twice.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
This thing, alternator, was pushing out 17 volts. I was driving, I'm looking at the gauge. I'm saying 17 volts. Stop the car, battery looks good, thing looks good. I'm like, what the fuck? Maybe the gauge is no good. I got to there, wherever I was going, I put a meter on it, 17 volts to the battery. I said, holy shit, get rid of that alternator. Then I had to change it twice. It's an auto zone, it's a lifetime.
That's what I'm saying, you see?
The first one was a little shit.
This should have an external voltage regulator.
No, it's internal.
It's internal?
Yeah, I converted it.
Oh, yeah, okay, all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
The carburetor is still the Quadrajet.
Right. I see you got your motor mount, your chain motor mount.
Oh,
here.
yeah. I've learned the hard way with the Firebird.
Yeah.
Because you see this stupid little cable here?
Right.
You break a motor mount, here's your engine rising, it's pulling the cable.
Right.
It's giving it more gas.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch, I'm sitting in the Firebird going, holy shit, that thing is revving like crazy. I'm trying to hold the brake. I dropped it in neutral. I said, that ain't happening again. So, I did it on the Lincoln too. Put my welding cables on the battery because this thing started acting up with the heat, the Pontiacs. Then I put a mini starter in and I rerouted the cable. So it hasn't been an issue. I mean, it starts up almost instantly. Even when it's cold, I put a little electric pump.
All right.
Puts out 5 pounds. You click the switch, you wait, you hear the sound change. All right, shut it off. And this, you can pump, you know you have gas in the car because they dry up if you don't use them.
Right.
Then you're spinning and spinning.
Plus, yeah, with the ethanol and the fuel that
Yeah.
they put down, it'll dry up. So.
But this thing, yeah, it's very nice, very good. Changed to a 4-core. I didn't go with aluminum. I kept the original. I'm looking at 190, maybe 210 in traffic, which isn't bad at all.
That's not bad. That's not bad. You ever take any long trips in it?
Yeah, I went upstate with it.
I mean, longer than that. I mean, like
112
Florida or
miles.
something like that,
No, I haven't. But I'm comfortable with it.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to check the rear fluid. Not that it's making any noise, but I don't know how often you should check the rear fluid.
Well, if the pinion seal isn't leaking and if the differential seal isn't leaking,
And these have the axles that come out.
Yeah.
With the stupid little
C-clip?
Yeah. No, not C-clip. They don't even have C-clips.
No?
They have a little flange that has 4 bolts on it. And actually holds the bearing retainer.
Okay, right.
And that's what keeps the axle. I remember spinning out with the other GTO and hitting the curb. And the axle actually worked its way out of the car while I was driving. I said, look at this shit. What's clunking? I said, there you go.
There you go.
This has, it came with a 290 something rear. It wasn't even a posi.
Right.
It was with the air conditioning and all that shit. So they took me into, Pontiacs love it, 355. They put a 355 in posi, going 3,500 RPM on the highway, going 70. I said, what am I doing here? I have no gears to give it. I only got a 3-speed. So I put a 308 in. It's still a posi, but at least it's about $3,000 at 70.
Right. It's good. It's good.
Which,
It's good.
the Lincoln gets better mileage than this, I'm sorry to say.
Yeah.
It does. 460 or not.
Definitely.
Still got sap on the fucking car.
Alcohol. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, put alcohol in the cotton swab and just, rubbing alcohol, I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, I have it. I use it on the wiper blades.
Right.
The wipes.
This is very nice, man.
It hasn't been any issues as far as, I have a lot of parts, but I kept a lot of shit, from the other car. Even with the Lincoln, I have a garage full of parts.
Right.
And it hasn't given me any problem. Lady hit me in the nose. Had the car, was ready to come out and didn't even move. She pulled in, she clipped it. Boom, boom, kicked the bumper and the fender. What does she do? She doesn't talk to him. She has her son, and she comes up to me. She's going, I'm like, what are we doing here? I said, you know what? Maybe I can get the nose painted. I figured I'd get Haggerty to paint the nose to match the car.
Right.
So I said, all right, let me see your license registration. She has no license.
I believe that.
I said, here we go.
There you go.
Now the bumper never moved.
Right.
And her car is destroyed. I can show you pictures of it. It's got her door, fender. Forget it. It's like smashed the whole shit out. The whole side of her car destroyed.
Right.
This is nail polish.
Right. Right.
I said, okay. And then I found that there's bodywork on it.
Yes,
So
it is.
the car probably has bodywork. I have fenders home. I'm not about to get into it.
No, just
I remember taking the fenders off at home when I was a kid and doing, body work on it and welding and putting patches on them.
Right.
But I haven't taken this off. I mean, they'll probably want to save it.
Yeah,
Terrible.
you can still get this done. You just have to sand it out. And it's not really dented. It's just this part right here, and this Bondo piece right here, and then
Yeah, see what's under there.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's terrible, that's one thing.
Yeah, it
It's hard. I can't reach it.
It looks solid.
Yeah, I mean, I've done it. I'm not into it, I couldn't believe it. So finally, I says, I'm going to call the police. I says, you know what? I don't want to call the police. I said, go ahead, get out of here. I told the son, tell her she was parked and she got hit. That's all. Let her insurance cover her car. It was a mess.
Insurance? They're not going to cover that if you don't have a driver's license.
That's true, but they could say somebody else, you parked your car.
She was parked there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it. I said, oh shit, here we go.
That's New York, yeah. That's New York. This is good, though. I like this.
They offer the hidden headlights option.
Right.
But
Did you get those?
I have the covers.
Okay.
But it's a lot of
work because they're doing electric, right? Like you have to wire it up.
Electric conversion. It
Right.
Be vacuum.
Yeah. So you got to recess them. You got to take the panel off, and
But I like it.
Not bad. You ever thought about using those LED headlights?
I really should because these things don't show me shit.
Right.
Yeah, it's like driving in the dark. Huh, really? Even the gauges on there.
You can put LED. I think the size for that is it's T10 or 194 or 168. They're all pretty much the same size bulb. LED sends the current one way.
In the socket.
Yeah, but you got to check because it only sends the current one way.
Oh, I see.
So what you have to do is put them in, test. If there's no illumination, take them out, switch them around 180, put them back in.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because the current only goes through one way on the LED bulb. Now, another thing is, when you get the brightness on the headlight switch, that won't work anymore. You're going to get all or nothing.
Right.
So, there's no way of running the intensity like with a regular incandescent bulb. And they're cheap. You can go to I went to eBay and bought a whole pack, maybe $20 of 100 assorted colors, red, blue, green, gold, whatever. So you get that because you want to test and see. You think you might like white, but then again you might like green. You might like, so you just
have to take get under there again because
when you pull it out,
the printed circuit board I have.
Right, and so when you do that, the bulbs also come. How do I describe that? They come where they push the light out to the side, or you come to where they push the light out to the top, or they come both ways. So when you get online, you'll see that. To find out. As I said, it's trial and error when you do that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Like what I did was for the license plate bulbs, I got the kind that push the light right out. So I don't want, because I was upstate and they were like, well, you don't have the right color illumination on your license plate bulb. And I was like, well.
Look, it's a light. I don't care if anybody sees it or they don't see it. At least I don't have duct tape across my license plate like every other son of a bitch.
Yeah,
I mean, forget it. They grind off forget it.
So.
Cop pulled me over in the Lincoln. He goes, what kind of plate is that? He just wanted to talk.
Yeah, all right.
It says, look, you can use these.
You can use the plates,
if they're not stolen.
If the numbers hasn't been reassigned,
Yeah. And he said, oh, okay, and he just looked at it. Another time I decided to go around traffic I jumped on the shoulder, and I'm going up the shoulder like an asshole, right? And of course, there's the cop in front of the construction site. Pull over. We had beers. My buddy's flipping out. Oh my God, oh my God. I said, don't worry, let me see. So I went over to him and I said, yeah, officer, what's up? He says, first of all, you shouldn't be driving like that in this car. Let me see your license registration. He says, I'm clean. I always tell him I'm clean, you know, because I am. And I said, I opened the trunk. First thing he sees is a baseball bat. What's this? I said, well, we're going over to where are you going? He goes, I'm going to my friend's, exit 18 on the Southern State, and what are you going to go beat him up? Is that what the bat's for? And I start fucking laughing.
Yeah, yeah.
He starts laughing.
Yeah.
And that was good. That was good. So look, just be careful, you know, and you should get a glove and a ball to go with that bat. I said, okay, you're right. Meanwhile, I had beer, like I said, I had all kinds of shit. I wasn't drunk, but we were aiming for it. Another time I had the Lincoln on Atlantic Avenue from Queens to Brooklyn. You have to go along the L.
Right.
And hit some pothole or something, and here goes the hubcap off the Lincoln. And it's not just a hubcap, it's a heavy fucking 20-pound thing.
Right.
It rolls underneath the L, it goes across the street, it goes in McDonald's. I'm like, holy shit. So we're getting this. Make an illegal left, make another illegal left, pick up the thing. It's a little scuffed. Pick it, woo, 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 woo. I said, oh shit, here we go. Pulls up behind me. Let me see your license registration. You made a legal left, you blah, blah, blah. He rattled off 3 things. I said, holy shit. Officer, I just wanted to get my hubcap, you know. Okay, I'll give you 1 ticket for illegal something. You know, you won't get points. I said, all right. I give him my shit. He walks back to the car to with my wife and say, here we go. All of a sudden he comes back and goes, today's your lucky day. He gives me my shit. He jumps in his car and he fucking takes off. I said, what the hell? She says, I heard the radio was calling him. He picked up the radio. He had a call.
Yeah.
I said, holy shit.
It's an emergency. It's
Yeah.
an emergency.
I'm low priority.
Yeah, right. You small tuna, you know.
Oh, that was cool.
Not
But,
bad.
you know, you really want to take off when you're following these people in the left lane or whatever they're doing. You really want to. I have a RAV4 2008. It has the Lexus engine in it, the 6-cylinder.
Yeah.
And it was like the car of the year back then. And it fucking takes off. And sometimes I get up to 90 with that thing, which is bad business. On the Henry, not the Henry Hudson, the
Hutchinson?
going up to
the Bronx, or
going up that way. My daughter
yeah, Taconic, right? Get on Taconic,
right? She moved to Dutchess County.
Right. So you did a Hutchinson to the Taconic or the Sawmill?
You get the 2-lane drift, or else you get the 2 lanes that are going 80, and the cops are all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that's one of those lantern flies.
Oh yeah, you're supposed to kill them.
They're fucking all over the place.
Yeah. Kill them when you see them.